On the left of your screen is Mark, who invests $2,000 every month into dividend stocks. His dashboard looks exciting because thousands of dollars in cash flow in every single quarter, making him feel like he cracked the code to financial freedom. On the right is David, who puts the exact same $2,000 into a boring, static index fund and focuses only on total return. They invest during the exact same market cycle, yet Mark is quietly losing hundreds of thousands of dollars to an invisible math trap. I know how that sounds. Let me earn it. To see the truth, we have to strip away the emotional high of watching a cash check hit your account. Here is the rule the entire video runs on. A portfolio's value equals capital appreciation plus yield minus friction. Wealth cares about total return, not the label on the cash flow. A dividend is not free money from the sky. It is actually a forced liquidation. Every time a company pays a dividend, its stock price drops by that exact same amount. You are not gaining wealth. You are just moving it around while triggering an invisible trap. Let us look at what happens over the first 5 years, starting with a $100,000 portfolio for both men. Mark picks a dividend fund that gives a 4% payout and grows by 3% each year. David goes with a broad market index fund that grows by 8% and has a small 1.5% dividend. Both of them use an automatic plan to reinvest their payouts right back into their accounts. On paper, it looks like they are doing the exact same thing, but the math tells a very different story. In year 1, Mark's fund pays him $4,000 in cash. Even though he automatically reinvests it, the government sees that cash payout as income. If we use a standard 15% tax rate, Mark instantly owes $600 in taxes. That means only $3,400 actually goes back into his account to grow. Meanwhile, David's index fund only pays out $1,500 in dividends, which costs him just $225 in taxes. The rest of David's wealth stays locked inside the fund, growing safely without being taxed yet. By year 5, this small difference turns into a massive problem for Mark. Because Mark is forced to pay taxes on his heavy dividend payouts every single year, he experiences a constant annual dollar drag. He is losing hundreds of dollars to taxes each year before his money ever gets a chance to multiply. David is keeping almost all of his money working for him. After just 5 years, Mark's portfolio has lost thousands of dollars in growth potential compared to David's fund, proving that those comforting dividend checks are actually putting a heavy tax brake on his wealth. To see how this problem grows, imagine 2 different boats on the water. Mark's dividend portfolio is like a heavy cargo ship. Every time it pays a dividend, it drops its anchor, slowing down to pay taxes and missing out on fast-growing companies. David's index fund is like a sleek speedboat. It keeps all its power inside, speeding ahead without stopping because it accumulates almost everything internally. When we project the math out to year 15, the gap between the cargo ship and the speedboat becomes huge. Compound interest needs time and zero friction to work its magic, but Mark's wealth is constantly being slowed down. By year 15, David's speedboat has zoomed far ahead, leaving Mark's portfolio trailing behind by tens of thousands of dollars. There is also a hidden mental cost to Mark's strategy. Mark has to spend hours of stressful labor tracking his stocks. He constantly checks individual dividend safety scores, worrying if a company will cut its payout or go under. David spends zero energy on his investments. His automated index fund buys the whole market for him, offering absolute passivity. While Mark works hard just to maintain a slower portfolio, David enjoys total freedom while his wealth multiplies automatically. The real reason the cargo ship falls so far behind comes down to 2 hidden traps: tax drag and asset concentration risk. When you focus entirely on dividends, you are fighting against the basic rules of how wealth is built. First, let us deconstruct the tax drag. Every single time a company pays Mark a dividend, that money is immediately taxed, whether it is an ordinary or a qualified dividend. This cuts away a chunk of his cash before it can be reinvested. It instantly cannibalizes his compound interest. Instead of letting his full balance grow and multiply over time, Mark is forcing his money to stop and give a piece to the government every year. Second, by focusing only on companies that pay high dividends, Mark accidentally starves his portfolio of growth. Most modern, fast-growing tech companies do not pay big dividends. Instead, they take their extra cash and plow it back into the company to build new products and grow bigger. History shows us that these top-performing tech companies actually drive about 80% of broad market returns. Because Mark only buys stocks with high yields, he completely misses out on the biggest winners in the stock market. He is left holding older, slower companies, while David's index fund automatically owns every single top performer. Mark thinks he is being safe, but his strategy creates an accidental trap that limits his growth and eats his wealth from the inside out. To be completely fair and honest, we need to look at the other side of the argument, because there are times when a dividend strategy actually makes sense. The biggest advantage is not about math. It is about how you feel. When the stock market crashes and everyone else is panicking, seeing regular cash flow arrive in your account can be a huge psychological comfort. For many people, these quarterly checks give them the confidence to stay invested rather than panic selling their stocks at the worst possible time. There is also a specific scenario where dividend stocks can win. Imagine an investor who is older and already in their late retirement phase, meaning they are actively spending down their savings. If this person holds their dividend funds inside a special tax-advantaged account, like a Roth IRA, the math changes completely. In a retirement account like that, the tax drag is legally dropped to zero. Because they do not have to pay annual taxes on the payouts, and they need the cash to pay for their daily life anyway, the forced payout is no longer a trap. In that exact situation, the steady income provides real value without the painful tax breaks. But unless you are already retired and using a tax-free account, the math still favors the index fund. Let us put the dividend strategy through a cold mathematical test. To prove that dividend investing is worth the extra effort and risk, we have to look at what it takes just to break even with a basic index fund. Because Mark faces a constant 15 to 20% tax drag on his payouts every year, his stocks cannot just match the market. They have to beat it by a wide margin just to keep up. When you run the actual equation, you find that Mark's dividend stocks must outperform a standard broad market index fund, like the S&P 500, by 1 to 2% every single year. That might not sound like a lot, but in the world of investing, beating the market consistently is incredibly difficult. Even the smartest professional investors on Wall Street fail to do it most of the time. It becomes absurd when you think about the handicap Mark is giving himself. He is choosing to invest in a smaller group of older, slower-growing companies, while simultaneously paying a heavy annual tax penalty. Yet, his strategy expects these exact same companies to perform much better than the entire stock market combined. Expecting a restricted, heavily taxed portfolio to beat a lazy, automated index fund over 10, 20, or 30 years is mathematically unrealistic. You are setting yourself up to run a race with heavy weights tied to your ankles, hoping you can somehow run faster than a sprinter with a clear path. Instead of arguing about which strategy feels better, let us look at a clear, step-by-step action plan based entirely on numbers. This simple list eliminates the debate completely and ensures your portfolio is set up for maximum growth with the lowest possible friction. Step 1 is to max out your tax-sheltered accounts. Using accounts like a 401k or an IRA immediately protects your money from the government, instantly removing the heavy tax break that slows down your compound interest. Step 2 is to make broad market, low turnover index funds the core of your wealth. By doing this, you automatically own the entire market, including the top performing companies, while keeping your costs incredibly low. Step 3 applies if you still really want to own dividend stocks. If you love seeing those payouts, place them exclusively inside your tax-free retirement buckets. This allows you to enjoy the cash flow without triggering the annual tax drag that hurts your growth in a regular account. Finally, step 4 is to create your own homemade dividends. Instead of waiting for a company to force a payout on you, keep your money in total return index funds and simply sell a few shares only when you actually need the cash. This keeps you in complete control of your taxes and your wealth, letting you build a massive portfolio on your own terms. Now, let us fast forward 30 years into the future to the moment Mark and David are ready to retire. Both men have consistently invested their hard-earned money month after month, year after year. They are standing at the finish line of their careers, ready to finally enjoy the fruits of their labor. But when they open their accounts to check the final balances, the math reveals a jaw-dropping dollar gap between their two paths. David's sleek speedboat has crossed the finish line with a massive fortune. Mark's heavy cargo ship is lagging far behind. Because Mark chose the feeling of a quarterly dividend check over objective math, his portfolio is missing over $400,000 in wealth. That is nearly $500,000 completely gone, swallowed up by decades of unnecessary tax drag and missed growth from the market's top companies. The most important lesson here is that this huge difference was not caused by an intelligence gap. Mark is not less intelligent than David, and he did not work any less hard to save his money. They both started at the exact same place and invested the exact same amount. Instead, this was a leverage gap. David simply pointed his mathematical lever in the right direction from day one, avoiding the hidden friction points that quietly cannibalized Mark's future. Mark spent 30 years paying a heavy emotional tax, proving that choosing what feels good today can cost you a fortune tomorrow. Knowing these numbers is the first step, but tracking your true total return and fixing your tax efficiency by yourself is incredibly tedious to calculate manually. You should not have to spend hours dealing with complicated spreadsheets or guessing your future tax rates just to figure out if your investments are actually working. That is exactly why I created a digital tool called the Wealth Friction Calculator, an asset vault. It is built to look closely at your investments and show you exactly how much money your current portfolio is losing to hidden taxes and fees. Instead of guessing and hopping for the best, this tool gives you clear, objective facts so you can protect your hard-earned cash from unnecessary drag. The number on the screen is loud. The math is quiet. Pick which one you let make your decision. I'll see you in the next video.